Who really want the money? Who really want the Gotti? Who?
All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Crypto Fees. You already know what it is. This is the brand new podcast from Crypto to Kush. So I want to welcome you guys here for our first episode. Thank you guys. Hopefully you like the new format too. We'll be looking like this until we finalize our move and get everything all situated with that. And then, we'll go back to a video, audio, more selective. I mean, depending on if you guys like this format better or not. So we'll see. But, we don't do no songs. We don't do no intros. So let's get straight to it. What up, gang? Got a great episode lined up for you today. By the title of this podcast, obviously, you know what we're going to be talking about. So let's get straight to it. We're going to be talking about the vaccine. And it looks like the University of Virginia disenrolled 238 students this week for not having the vaccine. Let's get into the article through CNN via Daily Beast. Getting vaccinated not only allows one to go out and eat or see the show, it also a requirement to get a college degree. The University of Virginia disenrolled more than 200 students Friday for not meeting university's COVID-19 vaccination requirements, a spokesman told CNN. That means they cannot return to campus or take classes unless they update their status within a week. Students out of compliance receive multiple emails, texts, calls, and in some cases calls to their parents. Spokesman Brian Coy said, "Our numbers show that our students responded to this. This means that we can have an in-person semester where people can engage in normal ways." The school had given students until July 1st to be vaccinated unless they had a religious or medical exemption. Of the 238 disenrolled students, only 49 were actively enrolled in classes. About 97% of the student population is vaccinated, Coy said. So, I mean, that's good that they got a good plan to roll out people being vaccinated. I'm not against the vaccine. I am cautious of the vaccine, but I'm not against it. I just want it to be FDA approved. I want to know that if I'm vaccinated, I can no longer spread it or receive it, which are things that have both happened. I'm not a big anti-vaxxer. I really think anti-vax mindset really puts people in danger. But at that same time, this is all really new. The polio vaccine, the measles vaccine, the chickenpox vaccine, the HPV vaccine, these are all FDA approved, and we've dealt with them for years, so we have a lot of study. I think the people that have already gotten the vaccine are definitely brave, and I appreciate you guys because, anytime you're first, you're almost a guinea pig. But that'll kind of carry us into the next article I want to talk about today, where the claim of getting vaccinated against COVID-19 only benefits the vaccinated person. So there was a tweet that went viral this week. It's quoted as saying, "I'm vaccinated, but how can it be a civic duty to get the C-19 vaccine when it only benefits me? I can still become infected or transmit C-19 to the vaccinated and unvaccinated," the tweet claims. "The choice is vaccinated should remain a personal one." I do agree with that, though. I believe people should be vaccinated or should be at least looking into the vaccine and not just, saying that it's bad, blah, 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 but actually, doing the research. At the same time, it is your personal decision. If for whatever reason you don't feel safe, taking a vaccine, then don't take it. And I'm not going to shame you. You know what I mean? It's not like some of the other proven Western medicines that we know improve the living conditions for us here and all around the world in terms of wiping out diseases that could have really wiped out us. So with that being said, I do believe it's a personal choice, whether you should be vaccinated or not. Experts say getting vaccinated has benefits on a personal and community level. Getting vaccinated reduces the level and risk of both getting COVID and giving it to someone else, said Emily Smith, an epidemiologist. So even she says right there, it reduces your chances. It doesn't necessarily make you immune to it, where a vaccine, to me, and over time has meant that it will make you immune to said infection that you're using the vaccine against. You catch my drift? So definitely it heightens your chances to fight it off and maybe even not even catch it. But at what cost? You know what I mean? There's a lot. I'm not going to say that I know what cost that is or what percentage or how that affects your immune system. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. But what I will do is continue to watch and monitor how the vaccine works for people. I have vaccinated people in my home, so you know what I mean. I'll see how that affects them, and make my judgment accordingly. So moving on to our next topic, we're gonna talk about some happier, more vibrant crypto news. I think it's really cool. This Missouri mayor plans to give $1,000 of Bitcoin to every inhabitant under one condition. The mayor of Cool Valley, a city in Missouri, is planning to distribute Bitcoin worth up to $1,000 to its inhabitants. However, there is a condition attached to such plan, the 5-year HODL condition. According to a report by local news, on Thursday, Jason Stewart has revealed intentions to give every Cool Valley's 1,500 residents either $500 or $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. Stewart also called the crypto digital gold. So it's cool to see a small town really trying to change their future. He really sees a vibrant future of if all of his inhabitants own some type of Bitcoin, albeit it's still early in Bitcoin with a lot of projections going up over the 500,000 and $1 million mark. So I mean, that's dope. I hope that goes through. I mean, none of the people are allowed to sell for 5 years. If you have a city full of people owning Bitcoin, I definitely think that's going to benefit. Especially, no one's going to say no to taking or receiving free Bitcoin or free $1,000, even if they can't access it for 5 years. At that point, I mean, it's going to probably be worth a lot more than what it was when they received it, and who knows. So I just think that's wonderful news. I hope that goes through. We should follow that and see if we can. It's a small town. I mean, there's only 1,500 people there, but if that's something we could keep our eye on to see if that actually happens, I would really like to study that town and see what happens in 5 years. I mean, you'll be able to do the math depending on where Bitcoin is at the time. In other crypto news, Walmart is seeking a crypto product lead to drive digital currency strategy. I don't know if that means they want to start accepting digital currency like Bitcoin or Ethereum, or if they want to actually start building their own blockchain, because they say that they want the candidate to be familiar with the Ethereum blockchain and the blockchain technology in general, as well as scaling. So the fact that they're already talking about scaling means that they're probably looking to make their own coin on top of Ethereum, which would be a safe bet. I would like to see some of these bigger companies maybe use some of these not as known to the public cryptocurrency blockchains that are a lot faster and easier to scale, just to kind of put a bigger light on some of these smaller projects that could definitely accomplish what a lot of these companies are looking for, and that's to be able to do instant transactions and to be able to have enough transactions per second to actually suffice the website so it doesn't crash or people aren't waiting 15 minutes for confirmations and things like that. So I mean, it's real interesting. You're really starting to see the digital tech happen. We said this years ago, as more and more corporate money pours in to the crypto market, we will lose our hipster, cool, first to the party type of vibe, but you'll definitely see a lot more money and liquidity coming in, and that's really what we all gonna want to see. Definitely gonna see more regulation with that, but hey, you know what I mean? It's definitely cool to see companies do that. So today's Wednesday, August the 25th. We're gonna recap the market a little bit. Looks like Bitcoin's pushing that $50,000 mark at $48,873, up 2% on the day, over 8% on the week. Ethereum in the number 2 spot is at 3,200, up almost a point on the day, up 6% on the week. Looking at Polkadot, up 1% on the day to $25.82, up 7% on the week. A really good turnaround last few weeks from Polkadot. It was down to about $12, $15 about a month ago. To see a lot of coins bouncing back is good. I really thought that was the beginning of a bear market, but the bulls were still out here playing. Let's check on EOS, one of our fan favorites out here. Boom, boom. Looks like they are sitting at 522 at the time of recording. And then last but not least, let's check out our good friends at Telos. Remember, this show is brought to you by Crown Token, man. You can purchase Crown Token. Wow, Telos up to 45 cents today, up 39%. So really kicking ass, man. Good to see our friends doing big things. But that's pretty much the crypto roundup today. We're gonna get right into the tech news. It looks like Elon Musk is creating a real humanoid robot. It was released on the Tesla presentation that they did this week. Definitely was kind of scary. So the description of the robot, it actually looks like one of the IRobot robots. Also, it says it can move up to 5 miles an hour. It can lift about 45 pounds. It's not very strong. It's about 5'7" and weighs about 125 pounds, I believe. So he said he made it that way it could be overpowered or ran from in case it went, on its own thing. It's really just the Model 3. A lot of the Model 3 sensors and battery setup and motherboard into like a humanoid robot figure. It's really interesting. It's also scary at the same time because he's making jokes like, they could take over, whatever. But like that's true. Like that's where it starts, right? Like a robot who can start to think for itself, and then all of a sudden it's like, what am I? It starts wondering and pondering the meaning of life. And there's another saying too, like, we live in a simulation when we create something that can create a simulation. So basically if these robots are ever able enough to start creating their own life or their own beings that think they're in their own simulation, that's kind of a clue that we're someone else's simulation, is the way that saying kind of works. But either way, man, the super rich are about to have robots, and then they're gonna have a race of robots raise up eventually and not want to be like robot slaves. You know what I mean? Like this is the beginning of IRobot. Elon, I was a huge fan. I really was. But I just think you get exposed more and more every year. I mean, yeah, you got hit. You got it right with the electric car vehicles. I definitely think electric cars are the future. Tesla is leading the way with that. As a person who used to own a Nissan Leaf, I'll tell you right now, going back to gas is terrible. I miss my electric vehicle, but as a single dad, I kind of needed the extra range and the ability to put gas in and extend my range at any time. Just never knowing what the kids will need or different errands I'll have to run. So went back to the gas car, but I definitely miss the electric car. I don't want humanized robots though. I do not think we need that. I think AI is awesome for phones and editing and coding, but to actually make a physical being who might one day think they're a human or alive, I think you're really starting to blur some lines together then. Not only that, let's talk about Elon's fails, right? Let's talk about Elon's fails. Like everyone talks like Elon's so great, right? So let's see. He made a shittier version of NASA. He made a shittier version of a subway with this loop that's never going to work. He made a shittier version of a truck, of the semi truck. When you break it down though, for the car, the electric car is more efficient than the gas car. But when you're talking about pulling loads and loads, tons across the country, you know what I mean, in these trailers, that's where the gas becomes more efficient than the electricity, because the damn batteries in those trucks are so heavy that it takes away from the payload that you can actually pull, meaning that it's more expensive to pull less shit because you can't pull as much on each load. So in reality, the Tesla semi has been a big fail. I don't see it like being able to surpass gas semis or diesel semis anytime soon, just because of where the technology is. But in terms of like a commuter car, they're definitely right on the edge of that. I mean, what's the new Model 3 is getting close to 300 miles range. A gas car usually gets about 300 to 400 miles range, depending on the size of the car and weight of the car and all that stuff. So, in terms of regular everyday driving from point A to point B, even some, road trip driving, Tesla is really pushing the movement. But some of the other stuff, man, is kind of taking that back seat. And that's all due to their, they need to keep progressing their battery technology like Elon keeps talking about. So, and that's another thing. I'm curious how long these robots will run on one charge. They didn't say that, or how they will charge. I didn't see that actually. If you guys see that, please let that know in the comments. So this is actually gonna be the end of our first episode, guys. I appreciate you for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely stick around. There's gonna be more coming. We got interviews lined up. We're gonna have a video and audio set up for you guys. Just, let it give us some time to get situated. Appreciate all you guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to love your family, cherish your health, protect that crypto. Holla.